Hey, what's up? This is Ace and welcome to part 3 of this Mugen character creation tutorial. Today what I will be showing you is how to import these sprites into your animation file, and I will also be showing you a thing or two about collision boxes. So without any further ado, let's get started. If you followed the first two videos, then you should be at this point. You should have your first group inside of your sprite file. Your first group of sprites should be right here, and they all should be positioned. If you are having trouble positioning your sprites the way you want, make sure that the activate transparency button is checked so that you don't see the background, and to make sure that you have onion skin checked as well, because once you have onion skin checked, you could scroll on this bar to show another sprite in the background to get a good judge of how to locate or how to position your sprites. So for instance, if I wanted to position this sprite in a certain way, then it was right here and I didn't feel like using the guidelines, I would just click on onion skin, find a sprite like this, just scroll back or forth and just drag it to the way I would like it. So that's all you have to do. Anyways, let's go into the animations file and go to the standing animation. So you want to go to the very first animation that says standing animation. It should say begin action number 0. What this number signifies the number of the animation, and this is the name of the animation, and this bar right here shows all of the separate frames of your animation. Alright, so if you're starting from scratch here like you should be, then this should look like this for you. Let me go to the sprite file, undo onion skin, go back to animation file, get rid of some of these boxes. I'm going to tell you about these boxes in a little bit. So let me minus them. Alright, so you should have something like this. Alright, except the time should say 10. Now what you want to do is add some of your sprites down here. You want to go to group, go to your first group, and you want to add in your standing sprites. And my standing sprites are going to be the first 10 or the first 9 images. No, the first 10 images of group 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of these images. One way to go about doing this is you could right click one image and go to add air, and that would add the sprite into the animation file. What you can also do is go to an image, right click it, and go add group to air, and that would add this entire sprite group to the animation file. I don't want to do this, but that's just something you could think about if this group only consists of a standing animation. So that's just one thing you could do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click the 0 image in group 1. I'm going to hold down shift and click the 6 image, and then I'm going to right click it and I'm going to click add air in order to add all of those animations here in the animation file. Now I'm going to go down and I'm going to do the same thing from 7 to 9. The reason why I didn't just go from 0 to 9 is because it looks kind of funky. If you do this, it won't select all of the sprites. So if you click 0 and if you go to 9 and then you scroll up, you only select 1, 0, 1, 2, and 7, 8, 9, and I didn't want that. So after you do that, after you put your sprites into the animation file, you want to get rid of this blank frame right here, and you could play it using this play button and you'll see how it looks. It looks kind of cool. But one thing I want to do is I want to add maybe another. I want to repeat the first 4 frames like 2 more times. That's what I want to do, just so that it's a little bit more fluid for me. And this part is just has to do with preference. You probably won't have to do that, but if I press play, it looks a little bit cooler, to be honest. Now once you have your first animation done, you could click save all, and what you also need to do is go into this options button right here, click on it, and for you where it says when Mugen executable, it should be blank. All you need to do is click find, and you need to go to your Mugen folder. My Mugen folder is right here on my desktop. You want to click on the Mugen application after you go into the Mugen folder, and you want to click open. That makes it so that you can run your character using this Mugen.exe. Now just click OK, and you could already run your character in M.U.G.E.N by pressing this controller with that Windows on it.
Round 1. Fight!
And there you have it. If this is your very first character, then congratulations. You have made your first standing character. Isn't much, but it's a step into the right directions. This is progress right here. Now let's talk about collision boxes. The collision boxes are located right here. So there are two different collision boxes. There's the red one and there's the blue one. The blue one is for the character to be able to interact with the other character so that the character is able to get hits, and the red one is so that you could hit another character. You need this for an attack animation, but since a standing animation is idle and it won't harm anybody or really interact with anybody, you need to get rid of this red box. You won't need the red collision boxes for the standing animations or any of those other animations until you reach the attacks. Alright, what you really need right now are the blue collisions for your blue animations. So click on the blue collision box and drag it to your character, and you want to make it reasonable size, like so. And I know you're thinking like, wait a minute, do I have to do this for each individual frame? And for me, I have 18 frames. For you, you might have 3, you might have 4, so it's kind of subjective, but for me, I have a lot of frames and I don't want to have to go through each individual frame and put in those blue boxes. Sometimes you have to, but in this case, I don't. So what you have to do is, if you don't want to go through all those frames, what you do is you click on one of those collisions and then click right here where it says collision standard. As you can see, it turns that box green, and what that means is that it is applied to the rest of the frames inside of this animation, as you can see. Now I'm going to do that to the next box, and this is what it looks like. Pretty dope. And next, if your animation is too slow, you want to go to time and you want to make this a smaller number. The smaller the number for time, the faster it is, and the bigger the number for time, the slower it is. So if you play right now, it's pretty fast. It's pretty flat. It's pretty fast. And then if you were to make this, I don't know, like 111, something crazy like that, and you press play, super slow. And also notice is that after I put in the number, I click on this button right here, which means apply time in all frames. Which you can do if you wanted the time to vary within each frame. You could just change the time for one frame, maybe make this a 7 or something random, and then for the next frame you could also put a random number, and you will see that it's changed, it's different. So you can make all of these random if you wanted to, but it just depends on your preference and how fast you want this animation to be. It depends on what your goal is, what you want to see. For me, I just want the time to be 10 in all the frames. Next, you are pretty much ready to start filling out some of these required animations. You know the collision boxes, and you see how each animation is pretty much named. You are able to do the rest, but I will be guiding you along the way. So right here, the next frame says turning. So what you do for the turning is you import or you add a sprite from your group, and it should look like this. And what you want to do is go to where it says flip, click on the H, and of course put some collision boxes on it. And for crouch turning, I went to crouch animation sprite and I did the same thing. And the stand to crouch animation is the animation where you go from standing to crouch. And the crouch animation is the actual animation in which you're crouching, and the crouch to stand is the animation it takes to go from crouching to stand. Walking forward is walking, walking back is walking back. So I don't know, it's kind of self-explanatory with these animations right there, but I will show you how they are done. Alright, so next you want to go to your sprites file, click on the PCX, and then click on your character sprites. And you want to make sure that the file types are in the ZSoft paintbrush, the period PCX, and you want to find the walking sprites. So I'm going to find my walking sprites, which are named walk 1, walk 2, walk 3, walk 4, and walk 5. I just clicked on walk 1, held shift, and clicked on walk 5. And I'm going to name this group 2. And I'm going to have this on the center bottom, and I'm going to have this auto crop, and click OK. That looks kind of cute, but it's kind of cool. And I'm not going to position those real quick. I just wanted to demonstrate one thing to you of how these collision boxes work. For the walking, I'm going to go to the walking forward animation, and I'm going to go to number 2, click add group to air, get rid of the first animation, or get rid of the first frame. I'm going to apply this collision box very sloppily to this frame, like so. I'm going to click collision standard. Now I'm going to open it up in Mugen.
Round 1. Fight!
And I'm going to walk over, and you notice how they collide with each other, like so. It doesn't look right yet, but I'll change that in the next video. I just wanted to demonstrate how collision boxes work. Anyways, there you have it. This concludes part 3 of this Mugen character creation tutorial. Today you learned a little bit about collision boxes, especially about the blue one and how you apply it to all the frames. You also learned about how to put a sprite into your animation file, and that's all I covered in this video. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Please be sure to have an amazing day. Peace.